commentator from Canada. Cory Morgan, I want to start by asking you, very interesting choice of language. Today it has become credible reasons, and earlier it was credible allegations. How credible are these reasons and allegations according to you in a court of law?
Well, until you give them, they have no credibility. It's all on the word of the Prime Minister at this point. And when he, as we refer to it in Canada, when he's backed himself into a corner, as you say, he starts uttering word salad every time somebody asks a question. He knows he's going to get in more trouble if he tries to expand on what he has started, and he just starts giving stock answers to every question that is thrown at him. He won't answer questions any longer. I mean, perhaps there's evidence, but I mean, we're beyond the point now of presenting it. We need to see it. This is very, very serious. You can't just toss allegations like that out there that's impacting millions of people now as we see visas canceled and all sorts of tension between India and Canada and not start to come forward with evidence. So it's starting to make people conclude he doesn't have the evidence. We understand there's security reasons to be discreet, but we've seen this with other countries when there have been, whether it was between Turkey and Saudi Arabia or whether it was the United Kingdom and Russia, when they've clearly found a case of foreign actions on their soil, they will call out the other nation, but they will have all of the evidence behind them before they do that. And Justin Trudeau is just making things worse by refusing to disclose what these credible reasons are, if indeed they're out there.
You know, Chris Blackburn, there was a report in the CBC today which said that the Canadian government has amassed both human and signals intelligence in a months-long investigation of a Sikh activist death that has inflamed relations with India. And this includes, according to CBC, communications involving Indian officials themselves, including Indian diplomats present in Canada. Some of it has come from the Five Eyes Alliance. So another strain of thought could be that he has it, he will present it at the right time.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for having me. I think that the CBC report is probably quite a telling report because it does say that Canada has signals intelligence. CBC, as you know, is the state broadcaster in Canada. It has strong links to obviously the government, and it has strong links to the intelligence services of Canada. So I think you're right. If we're looking at possible Canadian sort of revelations, are we going to see these signal intelligence? Are we going to get snippets? How are they going to present it to the global community? Because we have seen over the last few days credible allegations, credible evidence, but we've seen nothing. Justin Trudeau has literally opened up a can of worms here, because we already know that Canada has a very difficult situation about the rule of law. We've seen allegations, we've seen training camps in Canada. We've seen violence from Khalistanis where the Canadians haven't took it seriously. So if they're a nation of the rule of law, why haven't the Canadians taken these threats, very grave threats, seriously in the past?
So let me just ask you directly, do you believe that these signal intelligence actually exists, or is this a strategically timed leak? Chris Blackburn.
Yeah, I think the signal intelligence, as we've seen, probably does exist, but they have to present it to the global community. They have to make the case now. They've risen the bar so high, and they've made the allegations. They've got to start showing the world what evidence they have, if any. But I think that this CBC leak is very important because it shows you the direction that we're heading in. And if the Canadians think they have evidence that India was involved in the killing of Nijat, that they've got to present it.
Do you think, Cory Morgan, that America, Australia, New Zealand have actually seen the evidence, which is why the Financial Times report that President Biden actually took it up with Prime Minister Modi during G20?
If indeed they've seen this evidence that's out there, I imagine haven't seen it to present a clear link between a government-involved assassination on Canadian soil, or they would have been speaking up a lot more loudly and clearly on it. I mean, if such an action happened, the United States, Australia, they'd be very concerned, and they would condemn it roundly and quickly, of course. So I don't believe they've seen this evidence, or they already would have been speaking up on it. As it is, they're kind of stepping off to the side and trying to keep themselves clear of this. because again, I think they know Prime Minister Trudeau well enough as well to know that he's not often clear on following through with evidence when he makes allegations on things.